Blockchain is essentially a ledger that thousands of machines agree on. And when someone reads from that ledger, it's entirely free. But when someone writes to it, the state of the blockchain has to be changed by those machines. So gas is something that we pay as a charge for that work, which is one transaction and one bill. Another important aspect of KeeperHub is that KeeperHub ships around 442 actions and across 38 protocols. And Sky Protocol alone has 44 actions. And teams wire them into workflows that run unattended on a schedule for months. So every node is so here each run sends two transactions, and then there's an approval step and there's also a spending step. But something that we don't realize is that every time this particular workflow is run, the approve is identical to the last one, and it is paid for in full again anyways. So there you are paying 68,000 gas units per approve every run as long as the workflow exists. And this happens over and over again, accumulating your gas costs, which is very uneconomical and sometimes even costs the user directly. So in KeeperHub, for every workflow, every node is wired to send exactly one transaction. And this is the set rule. And so the approval node has no input from the chain state, so it cannot see that the last run's allowance is still good. Let's say the approval node itself becomes disconnected, and then until the sprint closes it, that allowance sits live for 24 seconds, and this is a chain state vulnerability. And this is where Meld, KeeperHub's first agentic widget, comes in. Meld scans the workflow for writes that can be safely merged. It builds a copy that does the same work with one transaction fewer. So what happens is that both workflows run twice. The figure comes from the receipts and it's not an estimate. So it's actually proven on chain. And we get a median of minus 25% gas across 100 workflows. That Meld always analyzes and finds which writes can be merged safely and refuses the one it can't. And it learns from the execution log. So Meld reads what was executed last. And it generates so the approval state becomes conditional and it measures and runs both workflows to give you an actual estimate. Now, coming to the live demo, we see that we have an unoptimized workflow over here, and on the right hand bottom right corner, you see that we have a meld widget. You just click the widget, and you get a pop-up that shows on how the meld actually works. And what essentially happens is that when you have a workflow that's open, Meld automatically recognizes that particular workflow, and you can see what can be done safely. So Meld is right now supercharging the workflow and generates an optimized workflow that can be executed, and it executes it for you and gives you the live reduce rate. So you can see that in this particular transaction, around 63,000 gas units were saved. So that's around minus 15% gas for this particular transaction. And you can click on the optimized workflow link that is below, and you can see the previous runs, and you can see it directly from KeepUp's UI itself. And now we can open the run tabs of both the optimized workflow and the original workflow. So we can see what the last runs actually were. So this is the optimized workflow that Meld created. And you can see that Meld has run it around two times to measure what the improved gas rates are. So you can see that it's run it two times and comparing all the gas across these two particular workflows, you can see that the optimized workflow itself consumes very less gas, that is around 63,000 units less. And Meld has its own MCP connector tool, so you can just enter your MCP token and approve it, and just log into Claude, Codex, ChatGPT, Cloud Code, whatever you want, and then you can just ask Meld, and you can just ask Meld about your transaction. It will analyze those particular transactions for you, and it will also tell you on how you can supercharge these transactions. And Meld will also remotely supercharge them for you, so you can supercharge your transactions on the go. And to prove this actually works, we ran 100 workflows containing a redundant approval, and Meld removed it in 100 out of 100 scenarios. And the median was around 20% gas saving, and there was 24.95% gas savings on two rate workflows. So essentially, these are all executed through KeeperHub itself, and all the links and all the transactions and all the workflows have been linked to the repo.